Thank you, Jeff. Okay, Pesach, Tafshin Pei Gimel. We're going to talk about the side of the 10 Makos, and Bes Hashem try to get in the 10 Makos themselves. Okay. You know what? Kadosh Baruch Hu is making a tremendous miracle in Mitzrayim in order to plan the Geula, that because if Bnei Yisrael, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu had made a miracle, all of a sudden Paro agrees, okay, you want to go, please leave. They would have still be affected mentally and remaining avadim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu used a technique so they should no longer be mentally avadim. A nation that was for so long under the shoe of the Mitzrayim could not go out and feel free, despite the Torah, despite everything. So what? HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to show him that those masters that took advantage of them are really not masters. It's always Hashem behind everything. And we needed the 10 Makos in order to show that the Mitzrayim are empty suits. And the only one guiding everything, making it happening, is the Midas Hadin. Is the Din of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Why is it Din? We'll see. Obviously, they misbehaved. When they started to become influential, third generation after Yaakov Avinu, they started becoming lawyers, judges, everything mingling in the politics and so forth of the country. Until they got sick of it, the Mitzrayim. Not because they got sick of it. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu portrayed the Bnei Yisrael in exactly like Hitler in Machshamoi. What do you think he went after the Jews? Because he decided, because he had a feeling one morning he woke up, I hate the Jews? What do you think those people are Jew haters? Because they decided to hate Jews? No. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu portray us to their eyes, because they're the border to the north. And after that, it's the cliff. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not want the Bnei Yisrael to fall off the cliff. So therefore, he put those people to pinch us and make us go back. So in order for the Bnei Yisrael to be mentally sane after that and see that basically Mitzrayim, they're nothing. It's all HaKadosh Baruch Hu behind it. So not only Paro understood that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is behind it, but even the Mitzrayim understood that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is behind it. Fine. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it says in the Pasuk in Parshas Azinu, Kel emuna v'ein aved. HaKadosh Baruch Hu it could be a trusted God, and by him there's no, ignominy or Tzadik v'yashar hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is straight. There's no going around and making arrangement because I like this one. Elu oivdei avodah zara. Right away, the Satan, when they were coming out, Elu oivdei avodah zara, and by the Yam also the Kitruks started. The persecution was, these are oivdei avodah zara and these are oivdei avodah zara. The Midrash says right away, HaKadosh Baruch Hu came down his throne, Kaviyachol, and told Michal to put up to make a Beis Din and to judge between him and the Satan. Okay. That shows HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes to din even when an angel as horrible as the Satan comes and accuses the Bnei Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes to the din. Anyway, so the Satan goes and starts HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You are justice and you're everything. The actions of these one are no different to the action of these one. The hair of these one are no different than the hair of these one. Why would you make a different din to this one than this one? Kadosh Baruch Hu answered, and who taught this one Avodah Zarah? Let's go back to the source every time. The Satan shut up. They didn't go on their own there. You forced them. You wanted to change them. You always want to break the family koken. You want to break the religious aspect of a society. You always come up with ideas to impose your will on people. They didn't do it on their own. So they're responsible. So the actions of these one are not to the level of the action of that one. Still, they were in the Shar Memtes of Tuma. So how did they deserve it? To go out with the Mate. Mate is Memtes Hey. 49 with the Hey of the Shechina. How is the Shechina capable of helping people that damage her to the point that they're about to cross the threshold of the 50th level of Tumah? It's not possible. How is it that they're getting the help of Mate HaEloikim? We spoke about this Mate that is only the Shemes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How is HaKadosh Baruch Hu lending his Mate to Moshe Rabbeinu and enables him to use his names for people that are not worthy, for people that have damaged the Malkas we spoke yesterday? How is it possible? And interesting that it's called Mate to exactly reflect the situation that we have Jews at the 49th degree of Tumah, and the Shechina is going to come. After this introduction, good, let's go to the pasuk. Where is it? That's the one. We're going to go back all the way to history, to Sefer Bereshis. There's a very interesting pasuk that Abraham says to Sarah when they're about to enter Mitzrayim. He tells her, Imrina achoy siat. Please say that you are my sister. Leman yitavli ba'avurech. So it will be good for me. Rashi explains what it means. It will be good for me. I will receive presents. Oh, Avraham Avinu, you the one who didn't want to take any present from Melech Sedoim. Why? Oh, God forbid they say they enriched me. And here you're looking forward to presents? Are you the same person? You know, a couple of years before, you endangered yourself. You had the bounty of the war. You were entitled to take, and you didn't take, and it was yours. By every mean, by every nation's law, it was yours, and they wanted the Melech Sedoim wanted to give it to you. You refused, but you want something you don't deserve at the cost of endangering your wife? Because if Sarah says she is his sister, what's going to happen? So it means she's not married. So if she's not married, she's available. And if she is available and so beautiful, what do you think is going to happen? V'chaysan nafshi biglalech. And my soul will leave. You see, I didn't say, just to refer to yesterday's share, v'chaysan nafshi, nafshi the nefesh. Please remind me to say something about one kavana to have on the Seder every time, and you'll be yotze everything. I can't forget to say that. Just remind me to say. So so let's not go into the words now, and let's play it as we understand, pashtus, and my life will be saved. 1 second. Avram Avinu. We have a halacha in Choshen Mishpat. In Shin Petes, I think it is, barely a person can save himself with someone else's money. The poskim are going to the extent that the only way you are allowed to use someone else's money to save yourself is if you say ahead of time, I'm using it now, but I will reimburse, in order not to become a thief. Because taking something without the knowledge of the owners turns a person into a thief. You want to make a mitzvah by doing a aveira? Who gave you the right? Now, let's go to the next level. Avram says to Sarah, I want to save my life with your life. Is he allowed to? Obviously not. Why would his life be in danger? Because after the Mabul, the Midrash says that the Zohar brings it down that all the nations forbade immorality. They forbade it. But the other capital sins like Avodah Zarah or Shfichus Damim or killing, no, this they did not take upon themselves. Only the immorality. So now comes Avram married with a married woman, and they're looking at him and they say, you know what? The only obstacle between us and this woman is him. We'll take care of business. So his life was indeed in danger. And what he's telling Sarah to say that you are my sister puts her in a danger. You're not allowed to push someone off the cliff in order for you to be remaining on the mountains. You're a murderer. You can't save yourself at the expense of someone else's life. So how is it possible? The Zohar explains in Parshas Lech Lecha, let's go back to the pasuk. Try to explain with the pasuk in Mishlei, and he's going to prove the point. Shlomo HaMelech said, "Emoir lachachma, say to the chachma, achoisi out. You are my sister." In other words, always try to be close to divrei chachma, people that speak chachma, as if it's your sister. Be as attached as if it's your sister, because chachma is what saves a person. So what he's saying here, Emoir la chachma, to the chachma, you are my sister. We see that he used the same language that Avram used here, achoisi up. You say you are my sister. In other words, what the Zohar is going to try to prove that Avram never said that to Sarah, because indeed he knew that it was Asur. When the Bnei Yisrael were in Har Sinai, and they were receiving the Torah and they heard the first two commandments, they thought, oh, enough. We don't want to die again, because after every commandment, the neshama was coming out. And Malachim were hitting it back to bring it back in. So they say, okay, it came back twice. We don't want to try it a third time. So they say to Moshe Rabbeinu, Ve'at tedaber eleinu. And you should speak to us. I'm sorry. Moshe Rabbeinu is masculine, is a man, is a leader of Israel. Ve'ata, and you in masculine, you have to say, what it means, ve'at tedaber, and you in feminine, you talk to us. What are they saying here? How can the Torah make such a grammatical error? At least here, at, because talking to the Chochmah, it's feminine. Here, Pashtus is talking to Sarah, so she's feminine. But here, it's obviously something else going on. That at refers not to the person, not to anything, but to something else. Says the Zohar HaKadosh. You know who at is? At is a Shechina. Sometimes we also call her Isha, it says. They said, not to Moshe Rabbeinu speak to us. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu that was speaking on Har Sinai was a Tiferes. So the Midah way above, so you have Malchus, Yesod, Tiferes on top, when we go in the straight line, in the middle. And this is the Yud-Ke Vav-Ke. They say, no, we cannot take it. We need to have the Malchus, the last Midah, talking to us. This we can hear. But not the Yud-Ke Vav-Ke. It's too hard. It's killing us. Our neshamas are going back when they hear that voice. They want to get back close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to their place. So we cannot afford. So since he was talking to the Shechina, basically the Avram didn't make any error, because he told the Shechina, you are my sister. Please protect my wife and make sure that, because if they reward me, then it means they need me and we're gonna leave. So that was his tefillah to the Shechina. Rabbi Yisa Saba in the Zohar says a bit differently. He says, yes, he did, that does refer to the Shechina, but what happens? He saw the Shechina on top of Sarah Imenu. He knew not to fear for Sarah. Had the Shechina walked away from Sarah, Chaz v'Shalom, and she would be without protection, at this point, there was a reason to fear for her well-being. However, since the Shechina was right on top of her head, he knew right away. So when he was talking to Sarah, he was not talking to her as a person. He was talking to the Shechina on top of her, davening for himself and for Sarah. Because otherwise, it would have not made sense that what Avram is endangering his wife for his own benefit. That doesn't make sense. Sarah Imenu, we spoke about it in the shir on Pashas Chaye Sarah. She was greater than Avram Avinu. We all know that. She had to undertake two of the hardest tests. Well, Avram had his son, which proved his greatness, and I'm not here, Chaz v'Shalom, I'm not even deserving to be under dust under the feet. But I'm trying to say Kriya Shema, to be saying it next to them after 120 years old. You know, that's the only way we will be zoiche to see Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov twice a day. So Sarah Imenu had a very difficult task. HaKadosh Baruch Hu reunited in Mitzrayim the same gathering that was that Friday night of the creation. You had Adam, Chava, and the Nachash. Here you have Sarah, Avram, Sarah, and Paroi. And let's take it gently and see exactly what is opening up here. Obviously, Avram knew that Mitzrayim was the most immoral land on earth. Already by the time when Yosef was in Mitzrayim working at Potiphar, and there was the day they had their holiday, and they were all going to the Nile. We'll see why the Nile. He remained alone, it says there, with the wife, and she pretended to be sick, whatever, the Zuleika, the wife of Potiphar. The Zohar reveals what was that day. What was that holiday? I'm going to get in trouble on that chair. What was that holiday? That holiday was disgusting. It was the holiday of gays in the open, put it that way, all right, in clean language. Already in Mitzrayim, that was the day. You get the picture, right? I don't need to go any further than that. And for them, that was the utmost holiday. You going to Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is the cocoon, the nest of the Sitra Achra. I want to take the time this time to show you what this is, because every time you use that, we use our name and then the Sitra Achra. Yeah, but once you know what it refers to, it's written like this: Sitra Achara. It's night already. I'm not saying that name. That's her. It's an EE under the lamed. So every time we are referring to the Sitra Achra, means the female, the Malach HaMaves, the nasty one, is there. So who was ruling over Mitzrayim and the aberration and everything? Her. Who is the Nachash? Her. Why? Because she wants to take the place of the Shechina. Her and the Shechina, it's a constant fight. When Bnei Yisrael will leave Mitzrayim is because she's going to be banged on the head. And funny bangs. Her the Malach HaMaves. At least the husband has one side that will be turned to Kedusha one time. Why? Because his name is, I can't say it, so I have to write it. Usually, when he is on mission for bad thing, we call him the Sam. Like this, Sam. So I don't like people call Sam. She says Samuel or something. But when he is going up, his name, so you can see he has the name Kel at the end, to show that all the angels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Sama, you know, and so forth. So he had, but she never goes up. He can go up to prosecute. She never goes up. She only goes down. Where is her realm? In the Gehinnom. She is the angel of the Gehinnom. She takes care of the Reshaim. The definition of Russia is her. No mercy. No mercy whatsoever. So when we take, I know why I stopped this. I should keep on here. Sorry. Just to prove it, what the words of the Zohar, it says here, Vayihyu. The pasuk started with, and we spoke, I don't want to ask questions anymore. Chaye Sarah. That was the beginning of the parasha. The mission, the statement is right here. This equals 570. 570 equals Russia. Equals Sha'ar. Who's the Sha'ar? The Shechina. Ze hasha'ar lashem tzadikim yavo boy. You want to go up the ladder? You want to go up through the Sulam of Yaakov Avinu? You have to conquer first the Shechina, because the Shechina is the gate. Now, you understand the fight between the Shechina here and this Rish'ah here. It's the same letters. It's just the orders that changes. So Sarah had to put things in the right order. That why does she have to put in the right order? Not only for Chava and Adam in order to correct them, but also for the Bnei Yisrael later on. When? 2 times. When they're going to go out of Mitzrayim, and when they're going to go out by when Mashiach will come. Who prepared the Geula? Sarah Imeinu. I thought it was the Eser Makos. We started the year saying the Eser Makos prepared the Geula for the, and you know, psychologically and so forth. No. The Geula could have not happened without Sarah Imeinu. Therefore, Sarah had to face the 2 serpents. Avimelech, when they went to Gerar by Eretz Pelishtim, by Eretz Canaan there, she was taken by Avimelech. And the second time when they go to Mitzrayim, the history repeats itself, and she's taken by who? By Paroi. Everything simple, everything hinted in the words, Vayihyu chaye Sarah, this is her accomplishment. She turned Russia into Shar. She fought with the biggest serpent. And she fought through Avimelech in Canaan and in Mitzrayim. Everything in the words. And this is what Sarah started. Now we have to go down a little bit deeper. We mentioned that in the shir, but now we're going to take a different, version of the mountain, because we're talking about the Aseres HaDibros. It says, Shana, Shana, Shanim. What do I refer to? I refer to Mea Shana. So when he described her years of life, it says 100 years and 20 years and 7 years. Why this repetition? Why did we have to have the word years repeated 3 times? Well, the truth in the Torah, only twice it's repeated here. The third time it says shanim. We explained this in the share, but no need to I'm going to tell you, why not? Shana, it's a lunar calendar we live in. It's a mixture of lunar and solar calendar. Shana equals 355 because we have 355 days in the year, but equals paroi. This comes to hint us. So when we say the year at Torah is just giving us a pedigree on Sarah Imenu, her achievements, but in a hidden manner because it suits such a great person not to talk publicly like this and like a grub person, but very decently and hint her powers. The Sitra Achra has 400 machanois, which Esav came to fight Yaakov. And she fought them too. And now we're going to see exactly what she has done and how she did it and how she prepared everything. Do you realize here, if I was to add, because you're going to tell me why is there another one? Basically, in Gematria, you're allowed to add the letters 1, 2, 3. 355 plus 3 equals what? 358. Nachash. So not only the Nachash, the Paro, the head, and the 400 machnes of Tuma, but these extra words are hinted in the Parsha here. Now, the Zohar said twice by Rab Shin Bar Yochai that Sarah had the Shechina protecting her, and Rabbi Yisrael Saba, which used to come, his neshama used to come learn Zohar with Rab Shin Bar Yochai after his passing. The merits he had, what's the difficulty? Why do you think neshamas cannot come down and talk to us? Do you think they cannot? Do you think they're gone? And okay, they're in another world, and no, this is utopia. This is a lie. They want to talk to us. There's one problem. Only one. Is in order to come down to this world, you have to go through a layer of evil spirits. And evil spirits, whenever they see something holy, for them, they have to bite, because for them, it's their sustenance, they're the parnasa. That's how they can live. No one, the same way a Jew lives with a neshama, even a goy, even an animal, a dog, needs a tiny parcel of kedusha, otherwise he would be dead. No one can live without having a parcel of kedusha. No one. So Sarah Imenu had more than that. She had to fight a battle. First of all, she had to bring the Shechina with herself. The Shechina didn't want to go down to Mitzrayim. Sarah Imenu had to tell the Shechina, come with me, I'm guaranteeing you safe being. So then the Shechina came down with Sarah Imenu under her promise, because the Shechina by itself would have been in danger in Mitzrayim. They had the Kishuv, they had everything in order to overpower the Shechina. So Sarah had to prepare the way for Yaakov Avinu to go down to Mitzrayim to have these generations that used to be, the neshamas used to be in the flock of Lavan that he had acquired, and now they took these flocks to Mitzrayim. These neshamas will go into humans, and these were the neshamas of the Dor Mabul, the Dor Haflaga, the Dor Enosh, and Sdom, the 4 Doros. Because in order for them to be rehabilitated, they needed to go through pain, the pain of the Shirbud Mitzrayim. They had to go. So she knew that, Sarah, but they needed the protection of the Shekhinah, but the Shekhinah doesn't want to go down there because it's going to be pain and suffering. Oh, Sarah Imenu is here? There's no problem. Sarah Imenu has such a schos that she will protect the Shekhinah. So the Shekhinah willingly went with Sarah Imenu, and this opened, and at that point, all the Zohar say that all the angels of the nations were very happy, because now they finally had in their sight the target to get the Shekhinah and get it away from the Bnei Yisrael, because all the bounty comes through the Shekhinah. Instead of her giving it to the Bnei Yisrael, they wanted to redirect it to them. That was the whole plan. And now they regain power through the Shekhinah coming to their place, even though the Shekhinah was not working for them. But since the Kedusha came down there, to a certain level, when you're in darkness and you put a light, it's tremendous light. People can see. And therefore, she opened the way to it. If we take so Sarah, like Dari said, like the Zohar says, Sarah was a Gilgul of Chava. Gilgul Chava equals 596. So this is the person. So when we're describing Sarah, she is Sarah with the neshama also of Chava. And that's going to take the Shekhinah. We're going to open up the words Shin, Kaf, Yud, Nun, Hey. The Shekhinah, she had acquired the Shekhinah. The Shekhinah was almost a possession, I want to say, of Sarah Imenu. So she had the power to protect it and guide it. So afterward, when it's going to be time for the Bnei Yisrael to come out, had to do it. Now it says here in the pasuk, when she arrived, Vatukach ha'isha beis paroi. She was taken. Obviously, she didn't want to go. She had to be coerced. She had to be taken by force. And she was taken by force. And at the end, it says, Ve'ata, after Paro was finished, Ve'ata hine ishtecha kach valech. This is going to be the story of Am Yisrael all along. All along. In every galus, in everything, it's going to start by us being taken by force, and then by us being freed, but not empty-handed, with a lot of presence and wealth and everything. When she was taken by Paroi, he was so mad about her beauty that he started giving matanos to Avram, as the next pasuk down here says, Ul Avram hitiv ba'avura. And because of her, Avram got basically presents. Why? Because he was trying to convince Avram, supposedly the brother, to coerce or to his sister, convince her to go with Paro. And that's at the beginning what happened. However, here they're going to team up Avram and Sarah and make us the Eser Makos. What happens? Paro goes, and every time he wants to approach her, his taiva, his Satan is so big, he's trying to jump on her. The Shechina is next to Sarah, and she shows the Shechina what to do when this happens. Hit, she tells her. One hit. Oh, huge hit. Paro screams, put on the ground. He is in pain. Takes it a little while, recovers, talks, calm down and say, please, and then his taiva gets back again. And she shows the Shechina, it's time, hit now again. And Eric Paro goes, broken back, rib, can't take it. It rolls around, yells, cries. But his taiva, he regains his strength. Like this, 10 times. If you count them in the Midrash, 10 times she's going to hit. What did Sarah Imenu do? Sarah Imenu taught the Shechina at one point, whenever an Oyev Yisrael comes close to the Bnei Yisrael, you have to hit. Find a way. Sarah Imenu didn't know what was Avram doing on the other side, but Avram knew that Sarah will teach the Shechina to hit, so he needed the power in order to give her the right to hit in the time of Mitzrayim and in the time when Mashiach will come on the Goyim that enslaved us for so many millennials and spilled the Jewish blood like water. But I'm going to get to it in a second. So once the Shechina saw that, the Zohar HaKadosh says that every time Bnei Yisrael are bedoichak ubetzar, they're in stress or they're in pain, the Shechina is feeling the same thing. Right away, the Shechina hits. Where did she get it from? The extended power of Sarah Imenu. Sarah Imenu hits. We don't deserve. You're right. But look why Avram went down to Mitzrayim. We asked the question at the beginning of the shir, why did he endanger altogether his wife? Could have been his benefit. He wanted something, but I'm going to show you through the pasuk something tremendous. But before I get to Avram, I just want to show you that what we said here, it's hinted in the words. Vatukacha Isha equals 825 equals Areinu Nifla. It's exactly the words of the Geula. Exactly. It says in the Navi, exactly those words. What is base Paro? We said there before that she was there, the Sitra Achra and everything. Base Paro equals 767. Now you wonder why I don't like those planes. Try never to fly a Sod. So this is called Satan Nechashim. All the evil powers were there. He was the cocoon. He was where, through his kishuf, he attracted all the evil powers and was using them for his own benefits, but they were there. And when Sarah fought, she fought to take Chava, whatever Chava lost to the Nachash, she took it out that day. That was the second part. That's why Yihyu Chaye Sarah. She turned the Rasha that took the Kedusha into a Shah back into the Shechina, and she took back her place. Now, you see in this pasuk, Ul Avram Heiti Ba'avura, to Avram he benefited because of her. Vayhi loy, and he was to him. The Lashon doesn't fit, whatever. Soin ubakar, flock, and I don't know how to call bakar in English, but bakar. If anyone knows, please open your mic. The big, cattles and cattles. Good. Vachamoirim, and donkeys. Va'avadim ushvaches. Avadim and maids, servants and maids. Va'soinois ugemalim, female donkeys and camels. Honestly, you think the order of this pasuk is correct? Should have said the most important first. So it should have been avadim and shvaches. Whichever one you want to say come low to high, it's wrong. High to low, it's wrong. So you had to pick one. And normally the king says, look, I give you this. This is mechubad. Why? They do a job. They're producing. They're profitable. So in Ubakar, you put me first, like you are indulging yourself that you got to Avram. So in Ubakar, Paro here, when he had to give a gift as the biggest sorcerer, he had to give a gift that was meaningful. He gave whichever flock and cattle where there was a Gilgul of these neshamas that was supposed to come out in Mitzrayim after that. That was of importance to Abraham Avinu. But then she was not convinced, so he started giving from his own powers. Chamoirim, was the Mishnah says in Brachos, that the first mishmeres of Kohanim was Chamoir Noer. It's the Chamoirim. What is the Chamoirim? Is the klipa of Chamoir. Shoer Chamoir. Remember Shoer Chamoir? Then he started giving the lowest, clippers to Avram Avinu, to give him, to try to entice him, to convince Sarah to be with him. Maybe I should prove you everything at the same time so we can, I'm not going to have to go back on this. So I said, Sanu Bakar, they had the Gilgul, right? So this equals to 449, equals to Avraham, look with the hay, and Adam Kadma'a. In other words, everything Avraham needed that fell from Adam Arishon was in these kosher animals. That's what he gave. He said, Paro told him, I know what you came to look for. Here they are. They're here. Now give me Sarah. The Zohar says on this, he was so crazy about Sarah that he endured 10 times the heat. And when she left, he carved her. He brought artists and he carved her in wood. And the only happy time he had, happy hour, put it that way, was when he's going to bed with his wood at night. And not only this, not only him, even the pharaohs that came after, they were trying to rejoice. They were sending him the other kings, special servants that make people happy, music, nothing. Only in the bedroom. That's why the Sephardim were on the only beds they went is by Paro, because he was chayt. So Tzaynu Bakar, as we have Adam Arishon And everything that fell from him got back to Avram, all the Nitzoitze Kedusha. Sorry, I made a mistake here. Avadim Ushvachas is one bunch. So Chamoirim equals 298. Equals Chayera. It's a wild animal. Every time we say wild animal, who do we mean? Again, the Sitra Achra is called wild animal. A person whose oihev hara and has gaiva falls right into that. A person that goes after his instinct, his bad instinct. You know, these people like to pretend that they're righteous and everything, and they have gaiva, so they're non-stop, they talk about themselves, and this is the klipa of Chamoyer. On the other hand, in the side of Kedusha, we have Rachamim, which is exactly against Chamoyer, 298. And who do we have on the Kedusha side? What happened? Ki malachav yetzavelach. What are these letters at the end? It's the malach. When a person travels, this is the malach that protects any traveler and keep him connected. You remember we spoke about the machshava yesterday. This is the malach of protection. We have here, okay, the connection, I don't need them, the verb, because used to say that nothing. Avadim ushvachos. (9:14). So when he saw that he was not being able to convince Sarah, he started giving bigger and bigger and bigger presents. He gave the keys to the Geula, both Geulos, the one of Mitzrayim and the one of the Geula Shlema. This is how we got the keys to the Nachash. Before, only Avram, Sarah were able to embattle him and to draw him into and fight him, and he was dangerous. Not anymore, because Paroi gave all his kishuv, the power of his kishuv, to Avram Avinu. Now you understand what Avram says. I will receive presents, as Rashi explained, not presents for me, present that the future generations will need. Va'asoinois ugemalim. Again, let's take away the vav, because this one is not in the root. Asoinois ugemalim equals 980 equals 2 times. Some kill this one. Nachash. And it didn't work. So he gave even his ministers, his malachim of Mitzrayim, he went all. So you see from this, he's going up. He says, I'll give you everything, even on the upper world. And then he gives his daughter, Hagar. Sorry. Now, do you understand how they got Yitzchak? Because they won that battle. Because they took with them the bounty from that would enable. So it's indeed, it's true. The Bnei Yisrael didn't have the power. They didn't have the merit to go out in such a manner. Avram was promised that they will do it. Avram went to get every right possible for them to have it in the best of the manners. That's what he did. And that's why he was so flamboyant. And this is where the Shekhinah learned. And the Shekhinah, sometime in the Zohar, it's called Sarah. Sarah Shekhinah is one thing. She had no physicality. She was all spirituality. She was the power behind everything. And this is the side of how the 10 Makos came, and how the 10 Makos before Mashiach will happen, will come still because of Sarah Imeinu. And how we gonna have the merit? Are we not deserving whatever? Avram Avinu already put in the bank enough provisions to be lasting for a long 6,000 years retirement. And there's enough in the bank with this chus. He has the Nachash unleashed. He has the Sam unleashed, and we will deserve exactly the way it happened in Mitzrayim, but in bigger, the 10 Makos. I'm going to try to give another share before Pesach, B'ez Hashem, to explain, to go into the Makos, see how the Shem gave the Makos, how it came, what it means the Shekhinah was able to hit. The Shekhinah had the stick and hit. And what is his mate together with the Shekhinah to hit Paroi? We will see. It's a very interesting concept, but it's always the name of Hashem turned one way or another. The thing I didn't forget, I'm not going to forget to tell you, and that's the main Kavana brought in the Area Kodesh. Very interestingly, the Kavana that can take you through the whole Seder is the same Kavana we do in the first bracha in Yom Kippur in the Shemoneh Esrei. We have everything is a siman. I don't care what you put in the keara. You're putting a leg of a chicken, or a piece of chicken, a piece of meat, or all I care is you call it a siman. Everything is a siman. How many simanim we have? 15. Kadesh, Shurchas, Karpas, Yachad. Everything is a siman. What is a siman? It's a pointer. What it means? Siman equals 160. For the joke equals kesef, money. But it's not a joke. With the kollel equals 161, Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey, the name of the Bina, which is equals Venake, the last of the 13 midas. When a person makes tshuva, when a person brings a korban, okay, the ties to the chet are severed. He's not connected to it anymore. However, the begam he did to the Shekhinah is still there. She has a big wound because of him. Who's going to repair that? So when it's deep enough and it's done with the shem kehye of the bina, because this Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey is only the word, the name Keye opened up. That's all it is. Every time you have a siman, 15 times we're going to bring down this name during the Seder. 15 times. In Yom Kippur, it's only 5 times. Here, it's 15 times. 3 times Yom Kippur. The kapara we can have here is like if you done 3 Yom Kippurs. Basically, you're going to have 15 times Venake. Pity I didn't do the gematria of this. I didn't even think of it. So or maybe I have it somewhere. I don't know. I don't remember. So anyway, so every time when you refer to something, you want to refer at it as being a siman. I'm going to do Kaddish. I'm doing a siman. What am I doing? Aleph Hey Yud Hey. You can write it to you on a thing and put it in your Haggadah, and you move up this little paper and you say Aleph. Oh, Karpas. Before I eat, Yehi Razan, Aleph Hey Yud Hey. And look at it. And every time, automatically, you're bringing down. Remember, the Bina is Olam HaCherus. How did Bnei Yisrael got freed? So the Malchus gave the Makis and then elevated, because he became a Shah, elevated the Bnei Yisrael all the way to the Bina, where we at on the night of the Seder, only for a few hours, which is the world of freedom. What do we say in Shmoneh Esrei? Zman Cheruseinu, the time of our freedom, not freedom of Mitzrayim. Well, you were in Mitzrayim, you? Any one of you was in Mitzrayim? No. The time that we can gain freedom from anything that is holding us like a leech around the neck, that prevent us to breathe normally, that stresses us. Every time, the time is when you have the siman. And remember, siman equals also kesef. So don't think that there's no money, there's no parnasa involved in there, but the strongest part is the benake. This is my kavana, because when there's kapara, there's everything. And this is the simple thought of this simple line will take you through the Seder and make you succeed your Seder. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.